How many hearts have you broken with those great big beautiful eyes? Those great big beautiful eyes that tell such beautiful lies.
How many times have you kissed somebody like you kissed me then? I don't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all ships at sea. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important message from the Prepared Mind Network.
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Voter fraud. We have put together voter fraud. We have put together voter fraud, the most extensive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, the home of shit hitting the fan news, commentary, and satire. We've been here since December of 2013, folks, over a decade into it, and we're continuing to document what is going on and telling you, you better get freaking prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. And I hope you're here live with me at the preparedmind.club and subscribestar.com. Now, voter fraud. Down in the country of Venezuela, they have a socialist dictator, a left-winger, kind of like an American Democrat. Guess what he did? He was losing in the election. And then all of a sudden, his score shot above the other score. That's right, folks. They blocked people from observing the vote counting. Sounds like 2020 in America. And then the media just came out and announced, hey, the left-wing socialist scumbag wins. Even though exit poll after exit poll after exit poll showed Maduro losing. This is how you steal an election when you're a leftist. You just do whatever you want. You cheat in every way possible. You don't give a shit. Let me give you some American examples, not from 2020, but from right now, today. You better get active, folks. I'm not chiding you personally. I'm talking about America. But for you, if you can do something, it will make a difference. It will make an impact. Just like this channel makes an impact with you here. Because we spread the news. We share the internet address. We tell other people, hey, this is a good video, a thumbs up. And it helps. Okay, what's going on now? Zark Muckerberg, piece of trash, little twit. I wish I could bitch slap the guy, but I can't get a hold of him. His organization called Facebook, Meta, all day long for several days now, has taken the picture of Trump. The most iconic picture of Americans since Iwo Jima's flag raising by the U.S. Marines. He's holding his arm up, and the American flag is behind him. And Mark Zuckerberg's organization said that's fake. It's not real. It's altered. It's an altered photo. And since it's an altered photo, you can't put it on Facebook. Well, the good news is just before we went live on this show, that was removed. Facebook was corrected. Their fact checkers are liars. I am pissed off right now. Oh, and then there's Google. Sack of shit, Google. Piece of shit, CIA financed, CIA run, CIA managed Google. Oh, don't worry. They have some diversity, equity, and inclusion leadership there, but it's the CIA. They have been hiding President Trump. You type in assassination attempt, TR for Trump, and it gives what? A bunch of suggestions. None of them are Trump. They're hiding the Trump assassination, and they're hiding President Trump. You type in President Trump, hit enter, and it has been coming up President Trump Kamala. And what are the results it shows you? nothing but softball, simple ass highlights of Kamala. Nothing about Trump. They're hiding Trump. They're hiding Trump. They're lying about Trump. They're lying about facts. They're hiding the assassination. And they're continuing to say any criticism of Kamala is a lie. At the same time, people put up, they're like, she said this and here's the clip. But they're continuing to go, this has been fact checked. You're wrong. Well, the bitch is right there saying it, whether she's talking about killing fracking or killing babies. It is off the hook, folks. And we're still approximately 100 days from the election. And these fucking people can't lie enough, loud enough, and fast enough. Not to mention the Democrat Party is giving awards to people who counted votes and cheated for Biden in 2020. Literally giving them awards. This is why I say, I am pleading, I'm imploring you, please get involved in your local election. Volunteer at the polling place, at the voting stations. Get out there and find the Republican Party and tell them you want to volunteer and make sure that cheating doesn't occur. It's unfucking believable. It's driving me absolutely apeshit. Kamala Harris, she had the lowest, folks, the lowest approval ratings of a vice president ever. But they put her into the number one spot. Someone that only 1% of Democrats voted for, and now the mainstream media is lying and saying she's neck and neck with Trump. She's pulled ahead of Trump in the polls. What a fucking lie. What a lie. Now, today, Kamala Harris had a White Women for Kamala Zoom call. And you know what it was? It was a white woman's guilt fest. It was completely cringe-worthy the whole time. And it's once more Democrats pushing guilt on white people, calling for basically, racial identification politics. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting and stupid, and it's not going to end, folks. It truly isn't. I have had it with all of these people. Now, it is Monday. It's Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday. It's just started, in other words. Get your questions into the comments section. We've got Uman down below. We've got the StreamYard uploading system fixed. It looks like we've got our regular crowd here, Mr. Uman. I encourage everybody to watch live if possible. If not, come back and watch as soon as you can on thepreparedmind.club. Do you think they're cheating? Do you think they're going to stop cheating, the Democrats? Do you think there's anything that will stop them? It's not going to end, folks. It is not going to end. They're going to cheat on every level, right? The Senate, I believe it's Senator Hawley, is going to announce an investigation into Google's autofill, which is ignoring Trump and ignoring the assassination. And folks, get this. The AI computers are also saying it's too hard to find details. When you do an AI search, it's too hard to find details about the Trump assassination. Really? It's not artificial intelligence, folks. It's programmed ignorance. Now, if you ask the computer, tell me about Kamala Harris. Oh, they'll give you a 10-page write-up for Kamala being the Democrat candidate. And Trump's assassination happened before. If you have your timeline, Trump assassination, Kamala appointment. She wasn't elected. She was appointed presidential candidate for Democrats. It happened days and days and days after Trump's assassination. But the AI computer is going to tell you there's not enough information and give you no information. So yeah, there's a good excuse and a good reason why the Senate needs to haul Google into the Senate and ream their little asses because these butt pirates, folks, are out to screw us. Whether it's AI or autofill or fact checkers, they're all fucking liars. Every last one of them. The mainstream media, liars. Politicians, liars. And I'm not going to back off from them, folks. There's no reason. Google is guilty. Zuckerberg is guilty. Kamala is guilty. All of them are guilty. I mean, you want some more? This is fucking incredible. So I told you about dictator Maduro down in Venezuela. Well, the hypocrites in the Democrat Party, they love a parade, whether it's a pride parade, and they get to brag about getting screwed in the ass, or their basic hypocrisy parade. That's right, the Democrats have a hypocrisy parade now. And it was led by none other than Secretary Democrat Blinken, who came out today and publicly condemned election fraud in Venezuela, while completely denying and even ignoring election fraud in our country that happened in 2020 and is happening now. So yeah, Secretary Blinken is an asshole, and I expected as much from them. It is crazy, folks, crazy. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. Trust me on this. You better be prepared. When they don't get their way, when they can't lie to us and trick us into believing that Kamala is going to be a great president. She's so far into communism, folks, that it's scary. It truly is. In fact, in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, guess what? Hundreds and hundreds of communists came out and marched through the streets of Philadelphia. They weren't wearing masks, folks. Well, some were, but they were holding up a huge banner that went from one side of the road to the other as they marched down the road. Communist revolution. That sounds to me like they're calling for insurrection. Sounds to me like they're a bunch of violent terrorists. See, I don't want a revolution. I want the Constitution upheld. These people with communist revolution as their tagline are inviting violence and an overthrow of this country. So they're in the streets, folks, the communists, the people that love socialism. They've got their banners. They're pronouncing their love for the murderous practices of communism. Murderous practices, folks. They have destroyed and killed over 100 million people, communists have. And their nation-destroying policies also. If you manage to live through a communist takeover, they destroy the nation's economy, its desire to produce. It destroys nations. It destroys people. So what I'm going to tell you is I don't know where these other communists are, but woe is to them if any of them show up in Florida. So I'm going to ask you to please understand who is in your area, what political groups are active and out there protesting, holding up signs, marching, whatever. And just know that communists and socialists, if things get really nasty, they will steal your resources and even murdering you for resisting them and their desire to take all of your stuff. Period. The left is a bunch of lunatics, folks, lunatics. And they're not going to get any better. They're not going to get any better. I wanted to make this the show opener, but I got caught up in everything else. Elon Musk did what I like to do, and that's use humor to make fun of your political opponents. So Elon Musk slam dunked gruesome Gavin Newsom with smart-ass power because Gavin Newsom whined about Elon sharing the hilarious Kamala Harris parody. Right? He put this parody out there, which was AI, artificial intelligence, to put words in Kamala Harris's mouth, not wife. making fun of her. So Meatball Gavin Newsom said this: manipulating a voice in an ad like this should be illegal. And he says, I'll be signing a bill in a matter of weeks to make sure it is, meaning illegal. Funny how they won't take action to save the country, secure the border, help our own people, assist vets, take care of the homeless problem properly. No. They don't give a shit. Well, after saying manipulating a voice in an ad is should be illegal, Elon Musk responded with this. Well, in the video, Harris basically was the satire. It exposed her as an incompetent candidate for the president. Well, I'll tell you what, she's proven that time and time again. So Elon Musk responds to shit stain Gavin Newsom and says, I checked with the renowned world authority, Professor Sug on these nuts. And he said parody is legal in America. Sug on these nuts. That's what he wrote to Gavin Newsom. Tell me Elon Musk hasn't engaged inside the political arena and is throwing parody, humor, and insults at these morons. And they are morons. And I don't think you really have to take anything of Kamala Harris's and make it any worse than what she's done to herself. Unbelievable. And so then Elon Musk followed up that with Governor Newsom should create an endowed chair at the University of California for Professor D's nuts. I think that's hilarious. It's time, folks. Okay, something I started a long time ago, back in the 20-teens, right? 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. And then in 2016, Trump entered the scene, winning the presidential election in 2016, taking office in 2017, and then 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020, Trump was a smartass. Trump used satire, he used humor, and he fought back verbally, the same way I've been doing from day fucking one, knowing this is how the battle is going to be fought. By pointing out their errors and their fraud and their lies and calling them on it and being honest about it and being loud about it and not being ashamed of who you are and ashamed of freedom and ashamed of the Constitution and ashamed of our country. No. Same with Trump, right? He's done the same thing. Oh, his mean tweets. Aww. And now Elon Musk bought Twitter, changed it to X, and is using the same humor and attacks that I do. Now, I might be a little rougher using all of my bad language, but too bad. We will get there. We will get there too. We're getting F-bombs dropped by senators, congressmen, and congresswomen. We're getting F-bombs dropped in the news now. We have people getting kicked out of mainstream media, like Tucker Carlson, the number one guy to lose his job with stupid mainstream media. He doesn't need them. He took his audience with him, is more popular than ever. And Megyn Kelly, same story. Good. They need to fight back. We all do, folks. Smart-ass power is very powerful indeed. Insulting them, proving they're morons, demonstrating it by making fun of them. It's the same thing I did as a kid to fruitcakes, to FAOTSs. All the fruitcakes, they need to be put back in the closet. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. If you're a fruitcake, shut the fuck up, get out of our faces. Period. See, you were nice to them, and what are they doing? They're pulling their nutsacks out at the Olympics. They're grooming children. They're fucking lying left and right. They're a bunch of sick, disgusting, perverted, ugly people. And they won't shut the fuck up. So yes, we need to get after them and stay after them and fight them. Let them call you a bigot, a xenophobe, a transphobe, a gayphobe, an Islamophobe. Who gives a fuck phobe? Who cares? Sticks and stones. Try me, you bitches. Right? That's the attitude we all need to have. We all need to have that attitude. See, when you care what other people think about you, then they are controlling you because now you're trying to please them. Don't try and please others that you don't want to be like, that you don't like anyways. They don't care about you. Just like all these liberal, retarded women on the Zoom for white women with Kamala. What are they doing? They're there trying to assuage their white middle-class guilt that they have adopted as their own, trying to please everybody in the world of liberalism, and nobody believes them, nobody cares. They just suck them up for money, sympathy, and for accolades. See, look at all these dumb white women apologizing for shit they never did. The liberal white woman, folks, one of the most dangerous on the planet. Dangerous on the planet. I tell you, unbelievable, but believe it, it is real. Now, we had a couple things come up last night in the show. Oh, by the way, let me remind you, down below, get your questions, comments, thoughts for the show. I do the first 30 minutes, my monologue, and then it's your turn with your questions, comments, statements, humor, whatever you've got. We'll talk about it. You want to talk economics? Let's talk economics. You want to talk military? Let's talk military. You want to talk geopolitics, local politics? Let's talk. Now, I'm going to go over to England. Last night we had Stephen Conlon check in. He's been absent for a little bit, but he was back. And what did he want to talk about? Tommy Robinson, essentially England's Alex Jones. He was arrested on charges of terrorism because he put on a television a show called Silenced, which is about being silenced by the government. So they arrested him for putting a movie on about being silenced. Well, they've released him, right? And so Tommy Robinson smartly has left England to avoid being sent back to Belmarsh prison. Hey, Stephen, Tommy is free, brother. That is good. But understand they're not done. You can't just win with Democrats and socialists and tyrannical assholes. You have to destroy them. Right? Being right isn't enough. I can defeat these liberals, these fruitcakes, these sellouts, these communists in a debate all day long. But that doesn't make them go away. They don't quit. They'll just go assault someone else. They'll just go rob someone else. They'll just go criminalize and destroy everyone else. They need to be destroyed psychologically, in argument and debate, politically, socially. They need to be destroyed. Not just beaten, not just defeated. They need to be absolutely destroyed. And when they're down, you do not let them get back up. You don't let them go walk away and climb under the rock from which they came. You need to destroy them. Period. Chin Music has sent me Mockery 101. You know, how to deal with these leftists. And what have we got here? Oh, man, that didn't come through. It's from one of his pseudonyms, John Cocktoston, which was a funny name from the movie Fletch. Let's see if we can get it to pop up here. There we go. Yes, at the Muscle Factory, John Cocktoston You know, he says, for the communist Democrats and the childless cat ladies that think J.D. Vance is weird, keep both your eyes on luggage and shut the fuck up. Every one of these fruitcakes, folks, they want to say that J.D. Vance is weird. An American, a Marine, a business entrepreneur, a successful business entrepreneur, meaning he stayed in business, he's paying a lot of taxes and hiring people who pay taxes. But they say he's weird, while some bald fruitcake with red lipstick who likes to steal luggage, grand theft, luggage and jewelry theft, working for the Biden administration, has his boyfriends wearing pup masks and fruitcakes having anal sex in the Senate chambers. And other fruitcake Democrats getting spankings from drag queens at City Hall. We're supposed to believe that we're weird when we see every manner of filth. Like the Olympic opening thing. You want to call us weird? I had to listen to some guy claim he's a girl, and because he's identified as a girl, right, that he'll kick everyone's ass if they even misgender him. This skinny little pencil-neck dweeb wants to talk shit. Well, skinny little pencil-neck dweebs out there, I'll talk shit right here. You want to know why? Because I'm not 110 pounds wet. And I don't tuck my weenie between my ass cheeks. And I'm not, let me repeat, not in schools trying to groom children. That's who the Democrats are. Thank you for that PSA, Mr. Chin Music. And now this one. I want to end my opening monologue with the Archbishop Vigano, who wants to use satire, humor, and what did Chin Music just call it? Right? There's a way to use humor and just smash these people into place. Now, the Archbishop Vigano is a Catholic priest. He's not just a priest, he's an archbishop, meaning he's powerful and he's famous. And he is calling these freaks out for what they are. His reputation can be ruined. He doesn't care. He can be excommunicado by the church. He doesn't care. He calls Emmanuel Macron, President of France, Emmanuel Macron, he called his wife a transvestite. That's right. A Catholic priest who is against woke ideology, critical race theory, diversity, equity, inclusion, environmental, social governments, bullshit climate change, climate crisis, socialism, the destruction of freedom. Archbishop Vigano has spoken out for all of those things as bad and evil. Not only did he call Emmanuel Macron's wife, does not look like a chick. First, I thought it was his grandmother. Then I looked more closely. But he also calls Michelle Obama mockingly, as Chin Music says, mockingly calls Michelle Obama a muscular man in a wig. I don't think the Archbishop Vigano is fooled by the fact that a man is wearing a dress and thinks it's a woman, a muscular man in a wig. And he condemned the Olympics as the, quote, satanic Olympics. Satanic Olympics. I believe he has done what we should all do, folks. If it's a spade, you call it a spade. Period. A spade is a spade is a spade. Right? A shovel is a shovel is a shovel. A hoe is a hoe is a Kamala hoe. And it just gets crazier. I've got more to talk about, folks. More to talk about. But instead, we're going to go to you guys because it's time for the inner circle. We need to mock them, all of them, and destroy them intellectually and with humor and trigger them and make them cry and send them packing. You've got to stand up for our rights or they're going to steal them from us. I come here every day fired up, folks. I bust my ass 0 dark 30 all the way till I come here, and then I bust my ass some more with you guys because we need to get the message out, you and I. It's just you and I against all that evil. All of it. All of it. The Olympic shit was so bad that they had to take it down and then use bullshit copyright rules to try and take it off of the internet. The answer is no. It's called fair use. Fair use. Right? Google's trying to take down Trump's assassination attempt. Sorry, it's called freedom of speech. We can post whatever we want. We can call it that's why this show operates under the banner of satire and humor, because that makes everything I talk about and do fair use. But they're ignoring fair use now and saying fact checkers say no. Fuck you guys over in India telling me what is and is not a fact. Unbelievable. Ooh, man, let's have a little fun. Let's have some fun. Who wants to talk? And ooh, man himself says most concerns. I went to the Kamala School of Speaking, apparently. Most concerning thing I've seen today is the potatoes' vow to reform the Supreme Court. One last act of major destruction on his way out. No future career to worry about. Not at all. Not for that sack of shit. You want to talk about somebody, and this is what he calls his constitutional amendment. No one is above the law. Constitutional amendment. No one is above the law. Oh, really? Cocaine in the White House. Really? Secret documents in your garage behind your Corvette, in your office, at your think tank, at a college university. Secret documents everywhere. No worries. Been found by special investigator Hur to have violated the law, but he says, nah, he's too old to prosecute for it. What kind of shit is that? They're prosecuting old women in their 70s and 80s for praying at an abortion clinic and calling that a crime and arresting these old women because they believe in the power of prayer. Clearly a violation of the First Amendment. Fuck the Democrats. Fuck them. It is going to get ugly, folks. It's going to get ugly. The last major act of destruction on his way out, I don't know, man. I mean, right now it is, but maybe he's got even more, right? He wants term limits for the Supreme Court. He wants an enforceable code of conduct that'll be aimed at the Supreme Court. And he has formally announced his unconstitutional plan to target Trump's immunity. No, see the case involved Trump bringing it to the Supreme Court, but it has to do with presidential immunity, not Trump's immunity, right? This is crazy, folks. They want to overhaul, supposedly, the Supreme Court. Biden does. The man who, with his son, shook down China, shook down the mayor of Russia, shook down Ukraine, has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine, took money from Sam Bankman-Fried, who took investor money, sent it to Ukraine, washed it, money laundering, illegal felony, and sent it back to Democrat politicians. And Joe refused to return the money back to the investors. Where's the mainstream media? No fucking where to be seen. But understand this, folks. No other branch has the authority to do anything to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is not beholden to the other branches. It is not less than the president or less than the legislator. It has its own set of constitutional authority and rules. And they can make all the attempts they want to try and change the Constitution, which they don't have a supermajority to do a constitutional amendment to give the other branches authority over the Supreme Court. And remember that Marbury versus Madison, all laws contradictory to the Constitution are immediately null and void, and no one is bound to obey or enforce them. A law that is null and void, no one is bound to obey, and no one is bound to enforce them. So fuck you, Biden, you sack of evil, self-soiled shit. I am sick of these fucking people. All they do all day long is lie. They're tampering with the election. They're cheating. They're doing it in our faces. What makes you think they're just going to go away? They won't. So you and I, we must start fighting politically. Because eventually, if we don't stop them, we will be fighting in the streets. And there will be blood. I'm not calling for it. I'm not glamorizing it in any form or fashion. Thank you, Mr. Uman, for bringing that up. Yeah, very concerning. Very concerning. But to get a constitutional amendment passed, they need a super majority, not just a 51 vote. They need a super majority. And any Republican, folks, understand me and listen really clearly. Any Republican that would vote for that shit not only needs to be voted out of office, but they need to pay a very heavy penalty for violating your rights, my rights, the country's rights. Because that is what that attempt would be to do, to tamper with and destroy our republic, which then hurts our rights. I take this shit very personally, folks. Very, very personally. Let us continue if we shall. Lots to talk about today, Mr. Uman. We've got Diving Frog checking in. He says, John, the leftists are stupid. Oh, I second the motion there. He says, please don't take that from them. That's all they've got. Once again, yes. No, I will not take their stupidity from them. I won't take their ignorance from them. No, no, no. I'm going to point it out and make sure everybody understands that is exactly who they are. Now, Badass Diving Frog says, I saw where Kamala could only muster up 26 people at best at her rally. She is as bad as Biden. They have money to pay people to show up at their rallies. She had a black people's rally in New York, got 68 people to show up. 68 people. That was her high point this weekend. She is a miserable loser. She is a miserable loser. She should be, by right, the absolute worst performing candidate in an election in the history of this republic. But they will cheat, folks. They will cheat. There is no enthusiasm for Kamala, but the mainstream media will tell you there is, because they want people to hear it and hear it and hear it and then start believing it, going, oh my God, isn't this great? But really, who gives a fuck about Kamala? She left the border open and people are being murdered. Women are being raped. Girls are being kidnapped and sex trafficked. Drugs are pouring across the border. Our social systems are being destroyed. Our excess capital in some areas is being consumed by these illegals. And then they get violent and they protest and they go to our great traditional monuments. Our monuments to what America was, went through, and have become. Our history is what every monument is about. And they've defiled and defaced them. All of these Palestinian pieces of shit, all of these Hamas ham suckers, all of them, folks, pieces of shit. I'm going to let out the air or I'll explode like that dude on Big Trouble in Little China. All right. Let us continue, if we shall, Mr. Uman. We got Mikey G says, got to continue the low information voter tradition, you know. Oh yeah, what is the Democrat? Someone tell me what the platform is. It hasn't changed. What is Kamala's political platform? What is she campaigning on? Can you name anything? Pro-abortion. Keep the border open. Send money overseas. Don't accept any responsibility for who you are and what you've done in politics. Give away all of our money. Right? Tax the living shit out of everybody. What else is what is it? What do they got? Orange man bad. I don't even hear that anymore. Trump didn't get an assassination. That's not right. Saying Trump didn't have an assassination attempt is not a political platform. Period. Trump faked his assassination. That's not a political platform. That's not a reason to vote. They don't seem to see that, do they? They just want to attack Trump. That's not a political platform. Fucking morons. Low information, voter tradition. How about low testosterone men in the Democrat Party? Good golly. That's what they're doing, Mikey. It's all about hiding the truth, making up lies, and they've got nothing else to run on. Nothing to run on. That's why they have to try and assassinate Trump at least one more time. At least. It would make more sense, but it's scary to say that they will continue to try and assassinate him until they actually assassinate him. And it's incredible. More information is coming out to demonstrate that there was an assassination attempt. Police are coming forward. The SWAT teams are coming forward. The information is continuing to come out. The police knew this guy was on the roof for minutes. They're confirming it. There's a picture of a policeman 1 minute before the shooter started shooting. He's a policeman down on the ground with his gun drawn. His gun was drawn as if to say there is an extreme danger where the life of police and the people are now being threatened. But did they take Trump off the stage? No. Did they shoot the threat? No. They waited until he got off several shots. The first 3, which sound like they're coming from inside a room, followed by another 4 shots, followed by a 5th shot. Hard to say, right? Was this because of the angle of the recording device? Or did they allow this turd to get off 8 total shots? Right? 1 shot. Oh, that's unusual. We're not used to people being shot at a presidential campaign. Maybe I should look in the general direction of the shot. Oh, I've now heard 2 shots, 3 shots. What is my job today? Oh, yeah, I'm a counter sniper. Maybe I should look in the direction with my rifle and find where the sound is coming from and shoot them. 8 shots total were fired before this punk was put out. And the police are continuing to come out and say, we didn't communicate right. They didn't get Trump off the stage. They didn't have the proper comms. They didn't have proper anything. It was the first and only Trump rally to be televised live on CNN the entire year. And it just happened to be the one where Trump gets shot through the fucking ear. And the FBI director, Chris Wray, wants to say it was shrapnel as if to lessen the impact. Well, it wasn't that close. It was an assassination attempt. The guy got off 8 shots. But it was only a piece of shrapnel that went through the president's ear. That makes it fine. That makes it fine. People in the crowd were shot and killed. People in the crowd were shot and injured. In fact, another one came home today. Another 2, I think, maybe even. But, we lost 1 fireman. Family lost him forever because, well, policemen could go up a ladder and not do anything about the shooter on the roof. Go up the ladder. Oh my God, he's got a gun. He's pointing it at me. Back down. Doesn't do anything. Other policemen draw their weapons. The snipers are looking at him and they don't know what to do. I mean, isn't there supposed to be chatter? Isn't there supposed to be communication from all the different shooters? Counter shooters, the police, the law enforcement, the protective detail, the Secret Service? Fucking outrageous. And by the way, I've won the same amount of primaries as Kamala Harris. Fuck these people. All right, Mr. Uman, let's continue. I'm kind of on a rant today. And Chin Music steps in and he says, anybody but me find it interesting that the FBI management has publicly refuted the congressional testimony of Director Wray about the gunshot. A schism seems to be afoot. FBI is refuting congressional testimony of its own leadership, Christopher Wray. Refuting. In other words, there's multiple opinions about what's going on and what happened. There is a huge schism in there. You have the radical leftist pieces of shit, and then you've got the super radical leftist pieces of shit in the FBI. The same people who would go to a war combat veteran, Green Beret, former congressional candidate, and try and tell him that he needs to be a snitch and an agent provocateur for the FBI. So that man releases the footage of the FBI fucking with him. And so they arrest him for being at January 6th and throw him in prison for nothing. And then they falsify evidence. They falsified evidence. They lied. In fact, the FBI lies, and also the jackass that is trying to prosecute Trump has falsified and altered testimony, witness testimony, and evidence against Trump. That's right, Jack the jackass. Right, working for the Attorney General. The courts have already said you are not a government agent. You don't get to prosecute a private citizen for criminal offenses. Jack Smith is who I'm talking about, by the way. Now this fucker has been found guilty, folks. They pointed out that he's altered evidence. A felony, a very serious felony. Jack Smith, private prosecutor for Merrick Garland and Joe Biden, needs to be arrested and charged with serious felony crimes. Unfucking believable. Oh, there's schisms out there, Chin. You see, there's something else that's going on that I don't think anyone notices except us. And that is that the left is more than willing to commit these crimes in the open now. From fraudulent voter practices to false prosecutions, as I just pointed out, against Trump, and false arrests against all the January 6th protesters, and attacking all of us, going after old women and fathers and mothers and veterans and war heroes. That's what they're up to. And they want violence. You see, if they're willing to openly attack us and try and use the legal system, they are going to be openly willing to attack us with violence very soon. As they get closer and closer to getting their fucking clocks cleaned in the election, they're going to get violent. I hope you are prepared. I hope you are prepared. And I pray that my dear old mother, right, doesn't have to feel threatened by this. Because they've already told us they'll be in the suburbs, right? They're coming for the white people in the suburbs. They're going to come because that's where the Republicans live, right? They're going to come after everybody. I tell you, folks, fuck these people, right? Fuck these people. Not one of them will dare look at me sideways. They are complete cowards, by the way. Ooh, man, who do we have next? We got Diving Frog again. He says, first he didn't get shot, and then he does, talking about Trump. Then he doesn't. Well, he didn't get shot. It was just some loud banging noises. It was some firecrackers. And then like, oh, yeah, he got shot. And then they're like, no, he didn't get shot. It was shrapnel, right? Diving Frog says, make up your lying ass, please, and get your treason straight. Hillary, Pelosi, Schumer, Biden, Jill Biden, Hunter Biden, Letitia James, Jack Smith, Fat Ass Fannie Willis, Eric Holder, Obama, Michael Obama, Obama's nuts, all of them, folks. No Nads Nadler, Shitty Schiff, Clit Stinger, every last one of these pieces of shit, whether they're Republicans or not. McCarthy, you're done. McConnell, you're done. Every one of these people, Mittens Romney, you're done. They need to all be looked at for money laundering, insider trading, treason. How many of them took a little ride on Epstein's Lolita Express? Well, I think that our good buddy, Bill Gates, 17 or more trips on the Lolita Express down to Jeffrey Epstein's island. Why is that motherfucker not being dragged into court and charged with, at the very least, child exploitation? Why not? Everybody on that little list of Jizzy Maxwell's needs to be public. If they got on that plane, it needs to be public. Let them come out and defend themselves. If you're going to charge them, you better have a crime, of course. But we need to know the names in that book. At the very least, these people were associating with known convicted pedophiles. Fuck. Thank you, Diving Frog. Ooh, man, who's next? Name redacted says, Cammy. That's right. Kamala is the harlot of the book, riding atop the beast, otherwise known as Mr. Satoro. Right, yeah. She's drunk. They're all drunk, inebriated on the blood of saints. They've gotten their power that was derived from those willing to sacrifice, fight, and then those that followed working hard. They've accepted and snuck into positions of power, and they're screwing us over. I'm not saying that we're in the middle of the book of Revelations, folks, but we sure have a lot of sick, perverted, evil bastards. And it's not just the United States, folks. It's in England. It's in France. It's all over Europe and all over the world. And it's amazing to me that the little butt pirate, the little fruitcake dancer himself, Zelensky, right, is being heralded as a hero. When you call evil good and you take good and call it evil, you know you're living in some strange fucking times. All right, man, who is next? We've got Mikey G. He says Secret Service 841 to 844 is a law signed by Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1954. I guess that's an SB, Senate bill. Anyways, it was outlawing the Communist Party of America. There's just no prosecutors with the cojones to prosecute. It needs to be prosecuted. Communism is anti-American. To be a communist, to join that party, is to enjoin a treasonous organization. You can't be friends with the enemy of the country. You can't support Palestine and support Hamas and claim to be an American, because they are anti-American and want America destroyed. You're giving aid and comfort to the enemies of America if you're a fucking communist, or you're supporting terrorist organizations, period. If your religion is one of murder and destruction, death and rape, then you are not an American. You are an enemy of America, and you should be treated accordingly. Whether you're an American citizen and you violated the law and become a traitor, fine. You get tried and sent to fucking prison or worse. And if you're a foreigner and you're in this country and you are anti-American, you should be arrested. And if you've committed a crime, tried by a military tribunal and punished accordingly. And if you haven't committed a crime other than saying you hate America, then you should be deported instantly now. Do not pass go. Don't collect $200. Don't get any free shit. Don't get a bus ride. You should be taken in the middle of the ocean and dumped. I'm sick of these fucking people. They are not worthy humans. What I mean by that is they're not worthy of life as we know it. They're worthy of the lives that they left behind because that's how they think. They think that if you're not paying attention, you should be stolen from. If you're not paying attention, you should be abused. If you're not paying attention, you should be raped. If you're not paying attention, you should be murdered. That's their attitude. But no, John, you're just a bigot. You're a xenophobe. You're an Islamophobe. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's do it, Uman. Let's get to breaking news. Let's do another one. Let's do some more comments. And it's Orlando. And he says, hey, Joe Biden will never be the man Michelle Obama is. No, he will not. There's a lot of men in the Democrat Party who will never be the man that Michelle Obama is. That's good stuff. And Orlando, I can't wait to see what you are creating when you get some more paint on the canvas, brother. All right, let's do it. Let's go to what is happening. No, let's get that up there, man. And his name redacted says, when it comes to artificial intelligence, it's the Memorex rule. Is it live or Memorex? Is it AI or is it predetermined and weighted AI? That's just it. Artificial intelligence, folks, isn't intelligence. It's just another program. It's a computer that acts on its own, but it has a set of guidelines it follows. What is out there? Just a few minutes left. What has happened since we started this show? Oh, here it is. Let's see. It's a weird look. Democrat reporters are mad because Kamala's campaign has blocked them from taking voters to the rally. I wonder why. I wonder why. Just look at that line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people standing in line. And it looks like they got a couple dozen people inside. Boy, she's stealing all the political thunder out there, don't you think? Now, I want to remind everyone that the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, has decided that they're going to deny that the MK Ultra mind control system they have was not used. And since the CIA lies about everything, it must be true that the CIA used their MK Ultra program to get Crooks, the would-be assassin, to commit the violent acts that he attempted. Now, maggot Mike Johnson. I still don't like him, folks. He is not MAGA Mike Johnson. He's maggot Mike Johnson. He's betrayed America and given our treasure to a little homosexual in Ukraine to launder for other politicians. And they all wave little Ukraine flags in our Congress. Anyways, Speaker Johnson is getting people screaming and yelling at him because he revealed the 7 Republicans who are going to serve on the investigation committee to look into Trump's assassination attempt. Geez, they're really pissed about that, aren't they? They don't want, highly qualified, capable members. Like, Mike Kelly, Mark Green, Dave Joyce, Laurel Lee, Michael Waltz, Clay Higgins, and Pat Fallon. Those are the 7 Republicans. David Joyce is one of the biggest fucking rhinos in Congress. Eli Crane, he's doing it again, folks. He's putting people that he considers to be qualified in position, but it looks like this committee is being created to huff and puff, and they can't blow over a house of cards. That is how weak that is. And I'm going to end the show with this. Darcy T, let me know about the Samoan boxing coach who dropped dead of a heart attack at age 60. Now, while that alone is not a Jim Jones juice potential, I mean, there's a potential, but it's not super likely. But the question got asked. She asked me, do you remember the days when people who had heart attacks survived? People used to have heart attacks and survive. She says, now they just keel over dead before they hit the floor. That's correct. The point about surviving heart attacks is a stunning point that I haven't discussed much. People used to have heart attacks and live all the time. Now they just fucking fall over like a tree that's been chopped down at the base. And young people in their 40s, their 30s, their 20s, their teens, and even young children. They don't just have heart attacks. They keel over and they're dead. Very few survive. What do you think that says about the Jim Jones juice? You think it has any effect on people? I mean, this boxing coach, age 60, yeah, he's a likely heart attack candidate, but why does he have to fucking die? People used to have heart attacks and live and go get bypass surgery, stents, heart replacements, etc. Now they just fucking die. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Share this video up there, that address on YouTube, and get prepared. The commies, the socialists, the left-wingers, the violent BLMers and Antifa types, the other Palestinian and other terrorist supporters, they're out there. And they need lots of love and attention from us. It is coming. And I'll see you, Zero Dark, tomorrow morning.